Hey guys, it's Tom Cherams with the FujiNet project, and I wanted to make another quick little video showing you how you can use your FujiNet to grab code from GitHub to your Atari computer directly with nothing in between. We'll be using a few of the FujiNet tools to do this, and it can work inside any Atari DOS that you wish. So with that, let's get started. We'll start by basically taking and picking a DOS to work from here. I will take and pick standard Atari DOS 2.0S from my DOS folder. The most baseline DOS we can think of, and we'll put it in drive 1 here. I will then take and go to my SD card, and we'll make a new 90K disk, and we'll just call it code, and we'll drop that in drive 2. Now we're ready to go. We can immediately take and boot into DOS 2.0. This is the single density version. This works with the double density version. It works with MyDOS. It works with DOS XL, Sparta DOS. It doesn't matter. Everything that I'm showing you here can be applied to all of those disk operating systems because we're going to be using the N tools. We'll start by immediately formatting that work scratch disk here with everything that we need. Now with that in play, we will immediately turn our attention over to this source code repository here, with which I will take and put a link in the description. This is a collection of bits and pieces of Atari source code that have been converted so that they can be viewed on GitHub. All of these come from various issues of Analog magazine, and many of them were written by Tom Hudson and other people that were affiliated with Analog magazine. Let's look at Bacterion, for example. With here, we have a complete source code listing that you can get here in GitHub. And you can scroll down, you can look at all the bits and pieces, and all of this was painstakingly translated using a ASCII to ASCII converter to bring it across, which is very important because one of the tools that we're going to be using is going to be doing this translation transparently back to a ASCII to bring it back to the Atari. So what do we do at this point? Let's go ahead and get that ready. If we look on our DOS 2.0 disk that I've mounted from apps, there's a whole bunch of little N utilities here. One of them is ntrans, which allows you to set the translation mode of a particular N device. We're going to set it for N, the first N device, and we're going to take and set this to Unix style line endings, which is 2 line feeds, which means that each individual end of line is going to be signified by a line feed. You can also select carriage return, which was used on the Mac, or you can use carriage return line feed that's used in IBM PCs with MS-DOS, Windows, etc. So we have all the major bases covered here. Now watch what's going to happen here. We've got this particular piece of source code open, and one of the things that we can do is we can press the raw button here to get a raw URL that we can use. Cool, huh? Okay, so now we have this URL that points directly to this particular resource. We're going to copy all the way over just so that I can make this video nice and quick. We're going to take and copy that over here, and we're going to use the NCD tool that we've used before to move around network file systems. Except this time, we're going to be pointing to a resource on GitHub. And yeah, believe it or not, this works. So now this is there. We've got that set up. We're ready to go. And at this point, if I then take and do an N copy, and we're going to look at the last part of that right here, which is bacterion.asm, right? And we're going to copy that to here. Now look what just happened there. It is taking and transferring that file directly from GitHub onto the Atari with nothing in between. The FujiNet is acting as a giant Rosetta Stone in between all of this. It is taking care of doing all the text translation for us automatically. And yes, this actually works in the opposite direction. If you write a file back, it will translate any ASCII line endings back to whatever line endings you set in intrans. So you can use the same technique in reverse to put stuff onto GitHub or to put stuff onto your favorite web server or your favorite file server, however you want to do it. This part of the process is taken care of for you automatically. Let's wait for this to finish, and we'll take a look at the results. We should be done. Right about here. Okay, there we go. Now if we take a look at drive 2, we'll see our Bacterion assembly file. That's 579 sectors. Yeah, that's taken up most of the disk, isn't it? But we can take it and take a look and see the result. Let's take and print it to the screen. Again, this is absolutely important to understand that this works in any DOS that you choose, and it works in the FujiNet NOS exactly the same way. But what we've done here is we've taken the source code here and we've moved it across the network directly without having to take and shuffle it across disk images and put things in between and just kind of do the, do various shuffles here in between. It just works. So what do you think, guys? I'm going to take and cut the video here. I think this has gotten the point across. I'll be making more of these, so you'll be seeing a lot more of these little things that you can do with the FujiNet network and your network device. So with that, until next time, guys, have fun.